video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process to get started with your non-medical home care agency in New York. So, bust up and stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. This is Denis, the home care agency startup and growth expert. And what I do, I help over burned out, frustrated nurses and healthcare professionals start their own non-medical home care agency so they can have more flexibility, more freedom, more time, more income, and build generational wealth. To date, we have helped over 350 home care agencies get started and grow. And we're gonna share with you the same process that we use with them to get them started. So I'm gonna talk about, in this video, I'm gonna talk about New York. So in New York, when we're talking about non-medical home care agency, which is basically where we provide services to help the elderly, services such as like light housekeeping, personal care, bathing, grooming, to help the elderly stay at home in the comfort of their own home for as much as possible. In New York, they divide that into two subcategories. We have what we call Homemaker and Companion. I did a video on that. If you haven't watched it, make sure you click here and watch that so you can understand the difference between what is a Homemaker and Companion agency in New York. And they also have what they call here, that I'm gonna focus in this video, is the Licensed Home Care Service Agency, LHCSA, okay, LHCSA, I think I got that right? So in this video, I'm gonna focus on the Licensed Home Care Services Agency. So let's dive in. So the main difference between a homemaker, a companion agency in New York, and having a licensed home care service agency is the service that you can provide. When you have a homemaker and companion agency in New York, you can provide what they call companion care, which we call hands-off care. That means anything where you have to put your hands on the patient, the client, is a no-no. You can't do that. So let's quiz you. So do I have to put my hands on somebody to take them to the grocery store? Yes or no? If you say no, you're right. Do I have to put my hands on someone to give them a bath? Yes or no? If you say yes, you're right. So if it's something that I have to put my hands on them, in the Homemaker and Companion agency, that is not allowed. But in the Licensed Home Care Service Agency, you're allowed to do what we call hands-on. Now you can touch the patient, okay? You can touch them. So let's go again. Let's quiz your knowledge. Do I need to touch somebody to keep them company? Yes or no? If you say no, yes. Do I need to touch somebody to help them with grooming? Yes. So what services can I have to do that? Do I need to have a homemaker and companion, or do I need to have a licensed home care agency service? Answer. If your answer is licensed home care agency service, you're right. So the main difference is hands-on and hands-off care. So with a homemaker and companion, you provide only hands-off care. With a licensed home care service agency, you provide only hands-on care. So with a homemaker and companion agency, we're providing hands-on care, and I already shared all of the details how to get started with this in this video, so click there. But in this video, I'm gonna focus on the Licensed Home Care Service Agency. So in order to get that license, there's a lot of things to do. But before you even get into the license, let's talk about the first steps that you need to get started. The first step is you need to choose a name. Yes, you have to name your business. That's really important, that you choose a name that is unique, that is catchy, that is remarkable, a name that gives people great feeling when they hear it, right? So you want to choose a good name for your agency. Step number 2, you need to verify the name. What does that mean? You need to make sure there's no other businesses in the United States that have a name that is the same as your name or similar. Why is that important? Because that's their intellectual property. If somebody already have a name that is the same name, that's their name. You can't take their name and call your business the same name, because if you do, they may take illegal actions towards you, and you don't want that. You're just getting started. We're not looking for trouble. Yeah, we're looking to make peace and get to the bag, right? So make sure you verify the name, that nobody else have that name, right? Once you verify that name, the third thing is you have to register the name with the Secretary of State. That's really important. And also, before you even register the name with your Secretary of State, you want to make sure you check New York guidelines, because in certain states, there are certain words that they don't want you to use in your name. That's really important that you know that. So you want to make sure you check the guidelines to see if they have any stipulation for certain words that you cannot use in your name. Then once you have that, then you can make sure you can go with your name, register the name with the Secretary of State. And once you register the name with the Secretary of State, now you're official. You basically have a business. The state knows, hey, the business is there. But hold up. Not because you have a business registered means that you can start taking clients and practice home care in the state of New York. But before I even get into that, let me remind you, if you're here, you're loving the value you're getting, make sure you like and subscribe. So that way you can get all those amazing information that I put out there 5 days a week. Yes, I'm hardcore and I'm on fire to spread the best practices about home care agency ownership. So I put video 5 days a week for your viewing and your learning. So make sure you click like and subscribe so you can get notified when I put new content out there. So now you have a name, you registered the name, you verified the name, you check the state guideline, make sure the name was okay. You also registered the name with your Secretary of State. Guess what? In the state of New York, you need to have a license in order to practice home care, hands-on home care in the state of New York. So fourth step is to start your license application. So now you want to complete your license application. In the state of New York, this is a process. You see how I slow down? I mean it. It is a process. So in the state of New York, once you compile your application, there's a lot of questions for you to answer and supporting documents and all of that. Once you fill out your applications and you submit that application, there's a wait period. It will take about like 16 to like 20 months for the state to actually give you an answer and let you know whether or not they think the application was good. Yes, you heard that right. 16 to 20 months. That's a long time. They will let you know, hey, we received the application was good. And at that time, that's when they're gonna start requesting some other paperwork from you. That's the time that they're gonna start requesting some different policies that they wanna see from you. That's the time that they're gonna request some the personnel files from you, right? And those things are very specific. They're looking for the specific information in those things, and you wanna make sure you submit the right thing to them, because you don't want to submit something that's not what they're looking for, that is full of errors, because that's gonna delay your application or even get you to the place where your application get denied. That's not something that you want. So once they get the information that they requested for you, they're gonna review all of those policies, the personnel files, the different policies. They're gonna review them. Once they review them and all is good, then at this time they're gonna ask you to submit something that is called a pre-opening survey packet, right? Pre-opening survey packet. And then once you submit that, they're also gonna come out and do a survey to make sure you have everything that you need in order to be in compliance to get started with your home care agency. This process, from the time that you submit your application to the time that you get your application, can take you 2 to 3 years in New York to get the licensed home care service agency. Even you don't even know if you're gonna even go through the entire process, because the process, when you first submit your application the first time, you have to show them there's a need for your home care agency where you plan to have it, and if they feel there's not a need, they may even reject the application from the get-go. So it is a long process. And I know now you may be saying, Sue, what are my options? I love options, so I want to give you options. So here are a couple options. First option, instead of starting a licensed home care service agency in New York, you can start with a companion agency. That's one of the things that you can do. That's one option. the companion, if you remember at the beginning, you only provide hands-off services. Second option, you can start your agency in a neighboring state. Those are my more favorite options. Start your agency in a neighboring state. There's a couple things that's gonna come into place, but you can either go to New Jersey or Connecticut. Those are different states that you can look into to get started with your home care agency. If you don't live too far away, if the commute is not that far, I'll definitely highly recommend that you go to Connecticut or New Jersey, because there the process is not as rigorous. But keep in mind, if you decide to get started with your home care agency in either Connecticut or New Jersey, it means that the client you serve has to be in that state. You cannot have a Connecticut license and serve clients in New York. It doesn't work that way. So there's things for you to consider, how much of a commute it is. Is it something that you can do? Because you're gonna have to run your agency in that state. And yes, you can start an agency in a state that you don't live in. That is totally okay if that's something that you feel that you can do. So those are some options. So I'm gonna encourage you to make sure you check the videos for Connecticut and New Jersey. So that way you can learn more and figure which state that you wanna start it. Unfortunately, if you were like, Sue, I love this, I know this process takes 3 years, but I want your consulting firm to work with me to give you this license, I have some bad news, okay? So the bad news is our agency do not help you start licensed home care service agency in New York because we cannot guarantee that you're gonna get the license. Because consulting firm Home Care Rossies United, we guarantee that our students are going to get licensed, 100% approval. But because of the way New York is and how long it takes, and we're not sure if they will approve your license or not, it's not something we can put our name on. So we don't work with licensed home care service agency in New York. But if you decide to start a homemaker and companion agency in New York, we can help you with that. Or if you decide to go to a neighboring state, such as Connecticut or New Jersey, we'll be glad to help you. So make sure, I have even some more resources. So more resources available. So make sure you click the link below in the description and get the resources that we have for you so you can keep growing in this, your journey of entrepreneurship.